All right. So today I wanted to show you guys around my office. So I'm like a behind the scenes guy. I love looking at other people's offices. I love seeing how other people do their work. And today I wanted to show you how I do my work. I've always taken my workspace pretty seriously, and as a result, it's been really fun to be able to work at home in my own home office because I get to do what I want. For all you office warriors out there, I wanted to just quickly show you around my setup. So first thing you'll obviously notice is a dual screen setup. So this is actually a 2012 iMac. I've been using it for a long time. I maxed out the RAM. It's probably at about 32 gigs now, but even as an old iMac with all these upgrades, maxing out the RAM has allowed that to go on for a really long time. And I use it even as just a one-screen system for years. This second screen here is actually a really recent addition just within the last 3 or 4 months. It's a 27-inch Samsung 4K monitor. And yeah, I mounted it on this pole because I like to have, as much as possible, I like a really clean workspace. So I like to get things off the workspace. iMac's actually on an acrylic thing, so it's visually kind of off the desk, and I can slide things under it and pull them back out. But to get a stand that actually holds an iMac off the desk is a lot pricier than I really felt like paying. So that one's just on that kind of stand. So that's kind of like the basic computer setup. Now, one of the things that you may or may not have noticed, depending on how observant you are, is in the background here I have, it's kind of hard to see with this video lighting, but you see this light fading in right here. I have some indirect lighting on the back of this wall. And what this actually is if you look over the top here, it's just a Philips Hue color bulb mounted in like a $7 thing that's just kind of on the side of my desk there. And that kind of lights up that whole wall there because I hate direct lighting. I just like some kind of ambiance rather than having a wall there. I've got a big window next to me, but it's really, this has made a big difference, especially as we kind of leave the daylight savings period, get into the winter. I'd be in here a lot after hours when it's darker, but I have it set right now. It's a Philips Hue color bulb, and there's some cool apps out there that do lots of color animations, and so for this video, I just went ahead and set it on the run through all the colors, but kind of depending on whatever light I'm getting from this window, how bright or dark it is, or really what mood I'm in, I can change up that color, which is kind of a nice variety to the workstation there. I work remotely. Our team is 100% remote, so when I'm meeting with people, it's always video meetings, and there's two things that I've done that have really helped that be really comfortable. One is this camera here. This is a Logitech C920, I think is the latest model. And yeah, there's a built-in iMac camera here. This camera is a little bit higher quality, but I also love that I can move it around, so I can put it on top of either monitor. In fact, when I do web video stuff sometimes, or Facebook Live, I'll actually take it and set it off to the side so you can see the area that I'm working on instead of just the area behind where I'm working on. So this has been a really helpful addition, and especially with the big screen, you notice I keep it off to the side over here rather than right in the middle where the iMac camera is. Keep it to the side because that's where I keep my video monitor screen, and I'll be working over here, video conference here. So when I'm actually looking at the video thing, it actually looks like I'm looking at them, which is not the case most of the time. So that's one thing that's been really helpful in a remote working space. The other is actually this bad boy here, and I actually built this out when I was a podcaster. This is a Shure SM58 mic, which is a pretty basic standard mic for all you musicians out there, but it's mounted on the Heil PL2T boom stand, and this is the part that makes it really comfortable because I'm moving around all day. I can constantly adjust this to whatever position is really helpful for me at the time. So that's one of my favorite parts of the comfort part. And you'll see here, this is actually mounted in the desk. There's a flange that I drilled into a hole here, and so it's not going anywhere. It's mounted there pretty solid. So speaking of the podcast setup, this is something that I did years ago when I had a podcast, and I built out So that microphone kind of came from that setup. I kept the whole studio setup though, because it's actually been really helpful and really cool. Let me show you a little bit of what this part is. And so let's see, right over here in the corner, let me point that down a little. Right over here in the corner is actually a mixing board. And this is, it's got 2 XLR inputs. It's got 8 channel inputs total. So I've got, I guess it's got 6 channel inputs. So I've got 4 channels that I can just put whatever audio I want in here. And so my computer, all of my audio from my computer and from anything else that I'm running actually runs through this mixing board. That microphone that I was using runs through this mixing board, and it all comes out in 2 places. One, it goes, you can see one of my monitors right here. I've got a pair of monitors on my desk. But I also have this as another output. It's not plugged in right now, but this is a device that I absolutely love. It's the Roland R-05 digital recorder. Records in WAV or MP3. Really high quality onboard condenser mics are helpful. So when I'm doing meetings in person, when I'm at a conference, I'll use this to just quickly record the audio. It's also got mic and line input, so I can take the output from this mixing board right here, and I can actually plug it right into that recorder. And so rather than futzing around with ScreenFlow or some other software recording stuff, if I need to quickly record audio from a meeting, quickly record audio for a video thing that I'm doing, or if I was doing a podcast or something like that, I just take all the output there, plug it right into my Roland R-05, hit record, and I've got a perfect level audio recording guaranteed. It's awesome. So the other thing with having this set up, because I can take a bunch of inputs here and send them to this output, this common output, either the recording or the studio monitors, I actually bring in music from other sources. And right here you can see, it's one of my favorite devices. We have a number of these around the house. This is my Echo Dot. And it's actually hooked up to this light behind the computer. So once I zoom out, I'll actually try that and see if it'll work on live video or not. But the Echo Dot is cool. I listen to music from there. You can actually talk to the other dots in my house, kind of like a monitor system. Yeah, check it out. Let's see. So, and I can control the volume on all of these independently. So, Echo, play the Black Crowes.
Shuffling songs by the Black Crowes.
All right, so I've got that volume independently controlled here on the mixer from computer volume. Echo, pause. So that's kind of my audio setup. And the last thing I'll show you on the audio setup that's been huge for whether I'm recording or whether I'm in meetings, also especially when I'm in meetings all day and I have to talk a lot, is actually down here on the floor. This is a mute switch. It's a foot mute switch. And my mic cables run through here on the way to the mixer. But anytime I want, I can just step on that and mute it and cough, talk, watch cat videos, whatever. So that's kind of that's like really the most of my basic office setup. Last thing I want to show you guys, and is actually zoom way out for this. This whole desk is kind of like piecemeal assembled together. It's homemade from off-the-shelf parts, I guess you could say. And there's a couple of reasons why I like it. First, it's L-shaped. That was kind of a big one for me. But because I built it myself from kind of just wood straight from Home Depot, it's a lot narrower. The depth isn't as deep as normal, but I work on a computer, so that's not a problem. The return here, also super narrow, so it actually doesn't take up a lot of space in my office. Now, the final thing that I did when I built this is actually my favorite part. This is actually from Uplift Desk, okay? And while I've been using this desktop for years, what I did was I took the legs off of the desktop, and from Uplift Desk you can order a frame that you just attach right to the bottom. And so you can see here, it's impossible to get the wires neat on something like this, so stop judging me. So this is like the Uplift Desk frame that I actually took my desktop, I just took it right off and plopped it on the uplift desk frame. And I've got a stand sit desk that I can adjust anytime I want. And this has been huge because I spend a lot of time in here, and the ability to work standing up, sitting down, adjust whether I'm doing a call or something like that has just been awesome. And having the return go up with me is it's super cool. So that's it. So thanks for coming by my office, and let me know what you think.